honest. There's no shot Wuthering Waves did what I have been asking for like a year and a half in Genshin. And you get a weapon picker? I assume you can get the standard ones on the event weapon if you like lose 50-50, right? It's 100%? That's actually wild for a gacha game. Guaranteed weapon, no 50-50. Holy. It's kind of cool that you can spend in-game currency to get constellations for this game. Oh, that's incredible. It doesn't matter even if it takes a lot. That's insane that you can buy 2 constellations for a character that you have in the shop, dude, is wild. What the? Select a weapon for targeted convene could be changed at any time after.
This happens every time I take out my knife.
How'd you get that knife? Hey, how'd you get that? That butterfly, how'd you get that?
Interrogation every time I get that. It's a gift.
Gift from who?
A friend.
A friend? How much did he spend on it?
I get interrogated about this knife.
Is that Summit?
In Italy, if you speak a little Italian, they like to help you. They kind of got a kick out of me. In France, you have to speak French perfectly. I stayed in a nice hotel in France, and I was like, excuse me, do you know I can get breakfast? Je ne comprends pas, monsieur. You know what I'm saying, you little bastard? You're watching CNN in English. Where's breakfast? So we went to this little restaurant, and the waiter was the owner. His name was Luigi. And he got a kick out of me saying, sono affumato. Hey, look at you, huh? Son of a bitch, he said, sono affumato. Giuseppe, come in here. Say it to Giuseppe, say it. Sono affumato. Hey, look at you, huh? We're gonna feed you, you're gonna explode all over the wall. In Italy, if you speak a little Italian, they
over here. So we're just going to be using their math. The first thing we'll notice, weapons such as Emerald Genesis, aka the standard banner 5-star sword, are significantly better than their 4-star counterparts, offering a 20% damage increase over the best 4-star weapon in the game. This is largely because many of the 4-star weapons we currently have available to us do not have crit rate available on them, whereas as we can see here, Emerald Genesis and the 5-star gun over here as well, Static Mystic, do. Now this crit rate ends up giving us even more benefit that we'll talk about in a bit, but a 20% damage difference on the standard banner weapon is absolutely ridiculous. For reference, even signature light cones inside of Honkai Star Rail, for example, only offer at most a 17% increase on one of the strongest characters in the game for it, Jing Liu. Getting 20% damage increase just from a standard banner weapon is frankly unethical. Having mentioned Shisha, if we look at her weapon as well, it paints the same picture, and so does Rover with his 5-star weapon over here. Every single one of these is offering about a 20 to 25% damage increase from their best 4-star weapon, and that's only on the standard banner 5-star weapon. The flat stats and crit rate you get from this is absolutely ridiculous, and we'll talk about in a bit why this is even more egregious than you realize. If we actually look over at 4-star weapons, the top rated weapon for Encore for 4 stars is actually pretty comparable to the 5-star weapon. As you can see, only an 11.5% damage differential. Now, once you factor in the fact that Stringmaster, a limited weapon from Inlin's banner, gives you an absolutely ridiculous damage increase from even this one with crit rate on it, I think you're starting to see why weapons are so insanely broken in this game. We've talked about the weapon math and the difference between 4 stars and 5 stars. Now let's do a deeper dive and look at the consolations versus the weapon value. Spoiler alert, weapons outpace it by far. Let's use Chisha as an example. Not a character many people use, but we'll use her as starters as we were just on her. If we look at Chisha, even going all the way up to S6, you are not outpacing the damage increase that you get from getting even a rank 1 5-star weapon on the standard banner. This is ridiculous. Do you know how hard it is to get S6 of a 4-star character unless you're going absolutely crazy on a rate up banner and you get lucky? But it's not just 4 stars looking like this either. Let's go to the 5 stars. GN, it is not until you get over to S3 that it outpaces the standard banner weapon, not even his limited signature weapon. 4 total copies of GN before he actually outpaces a singular copy of a weapon. That is ridiculous. But GN's not the only example of this either. Let's go to Inlin. Inlin, same picture. You have to get to S2 before she outpaces getting a weapon. And now keep in mind, getting the copies of these characters are always going to be 50-50, which is something we'll talk about in a bit as well. Calcharo, once again, similar picture right here. S3 before you even get comparable. And this is with the 5-star limited broadsword not even having crit rate on it. It only has attack, whereas the best 4-star broadsword for Calcharo has crit rate on it. So this is the best case scenario. And he still has to get all the way to S3 before it's even remotely comparable.
Hey, trying to open the game, it just crashed, and now that I'm trying to open it, it won't open. I think this is my 3rd time trying to open it again. I'm watching a video right now that says why you need a pull for weapons and not characters. I'm pretty sure you can hear it though. This update destroyed the game for me. It's detected that you're running multiple game instances. This game is about to terminate normally. And it says that I don't... Oh, the AR install external. And it has again, the Wuthering Waves logo on it. And that task. Other one. Oh, I see like 5 Wuthering Waves open, but it's not actually open. Yeah, I think I ended all the 100 million Wuthering Waves. Let's try again. But I had the game launched at first, and it died when I was trying to open the weapons. Maybe. But I don't know if it updated that. No, I updated it before I started playing. I updated it while I was getting noodles. Oh, you mean like when, and then it was still somehow playing on the second game, and that's why it was super laggy? And always the volume when you're downloading the update is way too loud. Not doing anything right now on my screen. Hold on. I just noticed my Twitch is messed up. Or the stream's messed up. Can't do that right now. Oh. 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 Oh, if I go like this, I can. It's stuck at 2%. My Streamlabs doesn't want to capture the game anymore. I think I gotta force quit it. I think there's something wrong. There's 2 running again. Why does it keep opening more than it should? There's 3 running actually. This update make it actually unplayable? Okay. Try again. How is it running more than 1? Like how is that possible? For it to do that by itself? Okay, now game capture is finally working. Not sure, haven't looked it up. It literally just started happening as you came in. Like I went AFK to let the game load in since it gets laggy when I first play it. I think there's another issue already, it's frozen again. Yeah. See if there's more than one open. Yeah, it's opening 3 at once. Is it possible to open it without the property? Without opening the client? Yeah, I'll try to do that. Yes, opening 3 at once. That's insane. Okay, repair game. Holy crap, those noodles are so spicy though.
Encore, same exact picture. You have to go to S4 before it becomes comparable to 1 copy of a weapon. What do you really think is going to be easier for you to get? 4 copies of Encore or 1 copy of a standard banner weapon? Sanhua, same example. You have to go all the way to S3 for it to be even
That's
comparable to a
0%.
weapon. It doesn't even beat it out in this instance. You have to go all the way to S4 for that. Now, Mortify and Denjin are a little bit more egregious in this example, so they're actually characters that may benefit a little bit from getting their constellations, or sequences as they're called in this game, up higher. But that's only true for, in Mortify's case, on the later ones, which he does get a lot of value. He goes up to 167, his constellations. I am so Genshin brained right now. His sequences are actually very valuable. Danjin, very similar situation where you only have to go up to S2 for it to be very valuable, and that's probably easier than getting a 5-star weapon. But keep in mind, only Danjin benefits from this. Whereas if you have the weapon, everyone who can use the weapon benefits from that. One of the biggest endgame constants inside of Wuthering Waves is this right here, the Tower of Adversity. Now, if you didn't know, not only can you share gear between different characters and different towers inside of here, obviously every single one of you should know that you can only use 3 characters per tower inside of here. What you may not know is you can actually transfer gear between the characters in every single one of these towers. That means if you use someone on the Resonance Tower on the left over here, in our case, we'll say we ended up using Havoc MC. Well, then when I go over here and I go into the Echoing Tower, aka the rightmost tower, now while I have Yang Gang on the right tower, that means that I can actually
Not doing
take
anything.
gear off of Havoc
Still
MC
0%.
and throw it onto Yang Gang. Now, obviously, they're part of different elements, so I don't really ideally transfer echoes between them, but I can still do that, and that is a legitimate strategy, especially if you're in the early game and don't have too many leveled echoes. Where this starts to get really abusable,
Yeah, I
though,
noticed it's kind of
weapons.
difficult for me to
If you have characters
beat
such
the
as
tower
Yang Gang and
now
Havoc Rover
already.
that end up sharing weapons,
Like, I
now you
just
have the
can't
ability
deal
to pull for
damage.
something that can affect the outcome of multiple towers, unlike characters which only affect the outcome of 1 tower. This is why I am saying that character banners are worse off than weapon banners are, especially given how much of a damage increase you get from every single one of these weapons. If you have a main DPS such as Danjin on one side, for example, and you have another main DPS such as Rover on the other side, if you have the Emerald of Genesis, both of these characters are getting a 20% damage increase on each sided tower. And this is going to get more egregious as more characters can start using these weapons too.
Oh shit, I accidentally muted Mike. I think I'm just gonna restart the computer because it's not doing anything. Yeah, he's talking about that essentially, but I guess the title is mostly he's basically saying don't bother pulling for characters, just pull for the weapons instead. That's what he's trying to say. New characters are better than weapons. Okay, hold on, let me restart real quick.